Welcome to the Pizza Party. My name is Troy. Visit troysweb.com for links to my other YouTube channels that are all basically in development because YouTube requires content is broken down into specific categories, genres, and niches, blah, 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 blah. Let's roll. Today we're going to make this pizza in this thumbnail. Same pizza was in the thumbnail, right? But I'm going to give you a whole lot more detail and a whole lot more breakdown on this particular pizza. Now, this pizza style is Walmart Market Side Take and Bake Supreme Traditional Crust Pizza. It's a 12-inch pizza, which they also call medium. It weighs 27 ounces in the box, which is 1 pound 11 ounces, or 85% of 2 pounds. That's important because what I'm driving at is buying a 2-pound pizza. This is a little under 2 pounds of pizza, and turning it into a 4-pound monster, dude. Doubling the food, right? So you're going to get 6 slices out of this. The toppings we're going to use are cheese, sausage, pepperoni, bell peppers, onions, black olives. Actually, that's already on the pizza. But the extra toppings is going to be more sauce, more cheese, more peppers, more onions, and more pepperoni. Now, ultimately, the weight will be 4 pounds, but we started with a just under 2-pound pizza. So we're basically going to add a half pound in sauce, a half pound in pepperoni, and about an extra pound of frickin' cheese. Now, the cost of the pizza by itself, without being on sale, is $9, but it's only about $15 after we add sauce, pepperoni, and cheese. So the cost per slice out of the box is $1.50, and the cost out of the box after is $2.50. Now, it weighs twice as much, right? So you're going to get 6 slices of pizza, and they're going to be about $1.50 a piece. But after we modify it, it's going to be twice as heavy, twice as much food on that slice of pizza, and it's not going to be $3, which is double the price of $1.50. It's going to be $2.50. I know that's like pinching pennies, counting numbers, but it's going to make sense at the end of the video because I'm going to show you a spreadsheet. There you go. I gave away the secret. So anyway, here is a collage of the different steps that we're going to take. We got the pizza straight out of the cardboard box, take and bake, but it's never been frozen. It's made in the deli department of the local Walmart. They all follow a recipe. I did use frozen peppers and onions because it's not garden season. I bought deli pepperonis rather than the Great Value or Hormel little tiny pepperonis that are only like 1.5 inches. These things are like 2.5 inches. So they're really nice pepperonis. And then, let's, what the hell did I do? There we go. So in the top left-hand corner, you can see that we have a standard market side medium supreme pizza. Market side supreme medium sized pizza. I have a bag of peppers and onions because it's not garden season. I have the deli pepperoni, not the Great Value or the Hormel or the whatever brand the pre-bagged things are. And, I'm on a fixed income. I buy stuff at Walmart. And so I used a little bit of extra mushroom pasta sauce, but I hit it with a bunch of Italian seasonings. And recently bought oregano because it just isn't, it's not hitting me like a restaurant pizza. And I also bought fennel seed. I tried a pizza with some fennel seed and I just put on too much and it was overpowering and I didn't care for it. So I'm going to learn to be judicious and smash my fennel before I put it on there and, maybe distribute it a little more judiciously or sparingly. Let's say that. All right. So there's the pizza in the center, top center. It's got all the stuff on it. Well, not all the stuff. It's basically just got a bunch of seasonings. And then I hit it in the top right-hand corner. I hit it with the spaghetti sauce on top of all that seasoning. Then I put on those peppers and onions from the frozen package. I did not use them all. I used them sparingly because they were kind of wet. I did squish them in between a paper towel before I put them on the pizza because I know that much water in those vegetables having been frozen, is going to thaw when you throw it in the oven, and it will make the pizza soggy and damp or wet. So let's not do that. Let's squish the peppers in some paper towels, get as much moisture out of them as possible, then put them on the pizza. Now, down to the lower left-hand corner, that's the pizza with all of the other stuff up above, a layer of the 5-blend mozzarella or 5-blend Italian cheese, and then a bunch of those Italian or those deli pepperonis, then another layer of cheese, and then the finished product. Yeah, it was a work of art, dude. I'm telling you, this thing was delicious. It made a whole lot of pizza. If you notice at the top, we've got the whole pizza, then we've got the half a pizza, then we have a single slice at the lower left-hand corner. I ate that bugger immediately. I wanted it straight out of the oven, and then I put the other 5 slices on paper plates and a paper towel to absorb any grease or any moisture, and then I bagged them in Ziploc bags on that paper towel, on that paper plate, and then I just pull one out of the oven and nuke it. I nuke it for 30 seconds, then I put it into the toaster oven so that it gets a little bit of dry heat and loses some of the moisture that can sometimes be collected in the refrigerator. When you have it in, and you don't want to bag this up while it's hot, it will make a lot more heat and condensation in the package. And then that paper towel that's sitting on there is designed to be there to absorb any grease in the crust, but also moisture that is created as a result of condensation, and not just to have that moisture on the surface or the top of the pizza. You want it, well, you really don't want it on the bottom of the pizza either, but it will get pretty dried out when you run it through the either reheating it in the traditional oven, an air fryer, or a toaster oven. So I already told you all this stuff just by looking at the pictures. Today we're baking a pizza from Walmart, but we're going to make it better. This is the easiest way that I know at the moment to make a great pizza fast. The only tools you need are an oven, a sharp knife, and a tablespoon, right? Everything else we bought off the shelf. I also have a wire cooling rack and a cutting board, which is recommended, but not necessary. You can get by, you can cut it on the cardboard. Don't cut into your countertops, number 1 rule. Ideally, though, your cooling rack and cutting board should be about 16 to 18 inches, which is more than what I currently have. And that is because in the future you're going to be wanting to make 16 and 18 inch pizzas, or a 16 inch pizza, so you need an 18 by 18 inch cutting board. I aspire to purchasing one of those someday. So it's so simple. I have to wonder, has anybody not done this already? I mean, I've done this to frozen pizzas. I put on a little extra cheese. Then I bought another frozen pizza. I put on a little sausage. I put on a little more cheese. Then I put on a little more sauce. And, you know, for those, they have such a thin crust compared to this traditional crust pizza that you really have to be sparing with the piling on when you're modifying or modding a frozen pizza. But let's cover the basics here. You can take any take and bake frozen pizza from Walmart, from any store, or any other store. And you can buy a variety of cheeses, meats, sauces, spices, and combine them with that pizza. Whatever trips your trigger, dude. You can double the weight of the original pizza, or you can use the extra ingredients sparingly and just maybe enhance it by 20%. You're still getting more than you paid for the pizza by adding some. Well, you're paying for the ingredients, but realistically, come on, man. If you can have a better pizza, why wouldn't you do it? Just add a nice layer of sauce, a little bit of cheese, or blobs of sauce, a big layer of cheese if that's your thing, and some veggies and meat, and then cook it. Cook it. Let it rest for 5 or 10 minutes so that cheese will emulsify, or whatever the word is, congeal. It's a gross word. But anyway, let it rest a little while before you slice into it. Otherwise, you might have a lot of the sauce just oozing out. If you let it, I don't like that word, congeal, but if you let it cool off a little bit and solidify, let the cheese solidify a little bit, it will hold in most of the moisture of that tomato sauce, that extra sauce that you've added. So all you need are 9 items for this specific pizza. 7 items will be used again, and some will be used again and again. The seasonings primarily, and the tomato sauce or the spaghetti sauce that I used. But more about that in a minute. I'm about to show you the spreadsheet and do a cost analysis of that particular pizza. So let's cover the basics for this video. All you need are 9 items for this specific pizza. 7 items will be used again, and some will be used again and again. Mostly the seasonings. More about that in a minute. Let's cover the basics. For this video, I bought a 12-inch medium take and bake supreme style pizza from Walmart. It has a traditional crust. It's a little thicker than thin, but not a thick crust. So you can start with any variety of pizza: cheese, meat lovers, vegetarian, bacon, whatever, dude. I added my favorite meat, cheese, red sauce, veggies, and seasoning. I'll be showing you that later in the video. I specifically bought a jar of mushroom flavored pasta sauce. Yes, I've used Great Value brand, but you can use Ragu or Prego or Hunt's or whatever you choose. Sauces come in a variety of, flavors. You can have cheesy flavored or mushroom flavored or green pepper and onion flavored, etc. You can figure that out on your own. The sauce flavors are typically just meat, garlic, basil, cheese, parm, mushroom, green pepper, blah, blah, blah. Man, here we go with the shopping cart from Walmart. At the top, I did buy some dry parm, top left. Bought some dry parm going down the left-hand side. I bought the Italian-style cheese. It's a blend of 5 different Romano, mozzarella, blah, 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 provolone. I bought a half pound of Prima Della pepperoni. Very good deli version of pepperoni compared to the Great Value little package Ziploc thing. Much better, much better. So then the pizza was $8.78 or $9 by itself. I got the peppers and onions and reused those for something else. Probably made fajitas with that. That was $2.50. Then I always have Morton salt, the coarse kosher variety in my cupboard. That's $2. Which doesn't really, you're not going to use all of that. You're not going to use all the dry parm. You may not use all the shredded cheese. You're not going to use all. You're not going to put a whole half pound of pepperoni on this pizza. You're not going to use all the peppers and onions. You're not going to use all of the pasta sauce or the Italian seasoning or the crushed red pepper. So, you get what I'm saying? That's why I said earlier, let's see, look at here. 7 items will be used again and again. So, the only thing that we're going to use 100% of in this particular video is the pizza itself. All right, so I went ahead and did a breakdown. If you can't figure that out, then you're not a spreadsheet guy. But it should be pretty simple. If you look down the left-hand column, I got the 12-inch supreme pizza, and then go horizontal. I've got a link there because it's my spreadsheet. It's on my computer. I can click that link. I can repurchase this. The package is 1 pound 11 ounces. It's $1.70 a pound. Price per unit is $8.78. Number of uses 1. Price per pizza $8.78. Per pieces that only comes the per piece for 6 slices and 2 slices per 3 meals. Those last 2 columns on the right are the bottom line. So let's go back to the left-hand side and go down 1 row. Italian cheese blend, go across. You can see the breakdowns. Look at the pepperoni, look at the sauce, look at the peppers and onions, Italian seasoning, the coarse salt. I divide those all up. You're going to make multiple pizzas with these things. You're going to use them over and over and over. So your absolute cost when you buy the whole thing is $15. Because I'm not using the full price of the like I said, the Italian seasoning, the coarse salt, crushed red pepper, dry parm, peppers, onions, sauce, pepperonis. You're going to split that across multiple pizzas. The total cost is $27 to go out and buy all those parts all at once. But realistically, you're going to have a lot of leftover seasonings and even the peppers and sauce, right? So you're good with $15, and for 6 slices, that's 1 piece is 1 pound damn near, and it costs you $2.50. So 2 slices per 3 meals. You get 3 meals, well, at $5 a piece, right? $15, 3 meals. If you eat 2 slices at a crack, I can't. I eat one piece and a beer, and I'm done. It's bedtime, man. I'm out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Coming up, I'm going to have a bunch of new material coming, and hope you enjoyed today's video. Join the party, subscribe, like, share, comment on this video, and as always, thanks for watching. Keep coming back. Let's party.